Claude Opus 5 versus ChatGPT Work. The big question we are all asking, which AI subscription is actually worth your hard-earned money in 2026? Let's just dive right into this. If July 2026 taught us anything, it's that the AI landscape is moving way faster than our tech budgets can reasonably keep up with. In just a matter of weeks, both major AI labs dropped their absolute biggest updates of the entire year. OpenAI shipped ChatGPT Work on July 9th, and then Anthropic fired back with Claude Opus 5 on July 24th. And honestly, it has left a lot of us dealing with some pretty intense AI subscription fatigue. Look, if you're paying anywhere from $20 to $200 a month for your AI stack right now, you are almost certainly paying for duplicate features. So the mission for this explainer is super simple. We are going to look at the hard data, compare the actual capabilities side by side, and figure out how to save you money without sacrificing an ounce of your productivity.
To really understand the problem, you have to look at the benchmark data, and it reveals the single staggering number, 85%. Think about that for a second. The average professional is letting 85% of their advanced, paid AI features sit completely untouched. We are paying for absolute bleeding-edge technology, right? But because of workflow fragmentation, basically bouncing around like a pinball between different tabs, apps, and ecosystems, we are leaving immense value on the table. Actually, scratch that. We're basically throwing money away. You simply do not need 3 frontier-level subscriptions just to draft the Tuesday morning update email.
And to see the financial reality of this fragmentation, just take a quick glance at your credit card statement this month. The average professional or small business owner is currently juggling about 2.4 different AI subscriptions. That means you're dropping anywhere from $48 on the low end to well over $120 on the high end every single month. Sure, it is incredibly easy to just wave these off as business expenses, but we really need to stop collecting AI subscriptions like they're trading cards. It is time to align what you're spending with how you actually work day to day.
So, let's actually break down these heavy hitters, starting with OpenAI's massive July 9th release, ChatGPT Work. If I had to give this specific tool a job title, it would be the Operations Coordinator. OpenAI built this explicitly for people who want to queue up tasks and get them completed while they sleep. It's built on GPT 5.6 and Codex, which is great, but its absolute defining feature is that it is a pure asynchronous workhorse.
The real game changer here is how you interact with it. You don't sit there staring at a blinking cursor or watching text generate line by line in real time anymore. Instead, you give it a dense, complex brief, like, hey, audit this 50-row lead list, enrich it with company data from the web, and build me a formatted Google Sheet. And then you just walk away. Go grab a coffee. ChatGPT Work's agentic mode means it operates completely autonomously in the background for anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 full hours. But what makes that background execution actually useful in the real world are its native connectors. It plugs directly into Slack, Google Drive, Gmail, and Salesforce. It is literally acting exactly like a junior coordinator. It can dig into your drive, pull raw files directly, process all that data, and then push the finished, polished deliverables right back to your team on Slack. So if your daily work involves a lot of cross-app data movement or multi-step administrative heavy lifting, for sure this is the strongest operational assistant on the market right now.
Okay, so that's the execution muscle. Now let's flip the script and see how this contrasts with a completely different profile over at Anthropic. On one side, we have the asynchronous workhorse of ChatGPT Work. But on the other side, we have Anthropic's July 24th release, Claude Opus 5, the deep thinker. Where OpenAI really focused on background task execution, Anthropic just totally doubled down on raw intellect and logical nuance.
Now, make no mistake, Opus 5 is a premium model, and the pricing absolutely reflects that deep reasoning capability. You are looking at $5 per million input tokens and a pretty hefty $25 per million output tokens. I know, that might sound steep if you're just summarizing meeting notes, but if your core job relies on pristine, complex logical architecture, that price tag is incredibly justified. To put it in perspective, it's like hiring a top-tier consultant for pennies on the dollar.
Because when it comes to deep reasoning, crafting nuanced long-form proposals, or executing complex code refactoring where logical precision is totally non-negotiable, Opus 5 is just in a class of its own. Plus, Anthropic did something really smart. They bundled Claude for Small Business into their team and pro tiers at no extra cost. So they're handing you 15 pre-built workflows for finance, sales, and marketing right out of the box. Combine that with Claude Cowork for real-time, side-by-side document editing and artifact previews, and it's a powerhouse. If your job is thinking, drafting, and analyzing, Claude is your undisputed champion.
Right, but hold on. Before you go handing over another $20 a month for either of those Frontier subscriptions, we absolutely must talk about the budget disruptors. Because I'll let you in on a little secret. In a lot of use cases, the absolute most powerful tool for your specific bottleneck might actually cost you nothing at all.
Let's look at what happened quietly in the background this July while everyone was distracted. First, Google completely slashed the pricing on Gemini 3.6 Flash by 70%. It now boasts a massive 2 million token context window. That means you can dump an entire 500-page textbook or, say, 50 different PDF reports right into Notebook LM and query it instantly, for free. And then there's DeepSeek V4. This model just hit general availability, offering top-tier coding and mathematical reasoning. And because it features open weights, meaning you can download the model itself, you can run it entirely locally on your own machine. That gives you total offline data privacy with zero recurring monthly fees. Yeah, literally zero.
Okay, take a breath. You've got incredible paid agents and some highly capable free models. But before you impulsively cancel everything and completely overhaul your tech stack today, let's do an honest reality check. Switching tools on a whim is a massive trap, and you really need to look at your workflow holistically to avoid some hidden, frustrating pitfalls. So here are 3 steps to safely evaluating your setup before making a move. Step 1, watch for rate limits. Both ChatGPT Work and Claude Cowork market these amazing background agents, but running long-horizon tasks will chew through your usage caps super fast, forcing you into hourly cooldowns. Step 2, beware of ecosystem lock-in. Moving your whole system from OpenAI over to Anthropic means painfully rebuilding all your custom instructions and relinking your third-party tools. Only make that switch if the output quality directly impacts your revenue. And step 3, avoid the oversubscribing trap. Look, if you just draft short emails or ask basic questions, a free tier is already 99% accurate. You absolutely don't need a premium subscription for that.
So let's simplify this entire debate. Here is your ultimate decision matrix. Stop guessing, stop listening to the hype, and just look at your actual daily bottleneck. If your biggest hurdle is asynchronous tasks, building spreadsheets, and multi-app automation, stick with ChatGPT Work. If your bottleneck is deep writing, strategic planning, or complex coding, your solution is Claude Opus 5. And if your primary need is reading massive PDFs or heavy document research, save your money and move to Gemini 3.6 Flash and Notebook LM for free.
Which brings us to the final, actionable rule you can apply the very second this explainer ends. I call it the 48-hour audit rule. If you are currently paying for both ChatGPT and Claude just out of habit, you need to open your usage history today. Really look at the data. Whichever subscription you haven't genuinely opened and used for core work in the last 48 hours, axe it. Cancel it immediately.
Because hoarding AI subscriptions in 2026, it isn't making you more productive. It is just draining your budget. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. Based on your actual daily workflow, the stuff you do every single day, which AI subscription are you canceling this month? Take a hard look at your stack, make the cut, and start letting the right AI do the heavy lifting for you. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and we will see you in the next explainer.